This is Thomas Sheltra for Module 8, Unit 10, Activity 1, Leadership and Collaboration, and this is my reflection based off of the reading initiative that has been taking place at RTCC, where I teach as a humanities instructor. So one of the things that I really like about this project is that it was all collaborative. So students had input and agency as far as the student ambassadors, the leadership team at our school, including myself, the math teacher, and guidance counselor and academic support center staff were able to kind of weigh in and figure out how the process of this initiative was going to take place, making sure that everything was worked out with program instructors and timelines, because Fridays for 15 extra minutes after attendance was taken, so that's going to cut into learning time. So so scheduling was a key factor, but I think that one of the things that made this initiative really successful was the fact that it was so collaborative. Everybody worked as a team, from the administration all the way down to the students, and I think that while it's 15 minutes every Friday is really great, I think that the hope was that it was going to kind of continue to go to a point where more people were going to read outside of those Friday 15 minutes. I think some of the program instructors and other programs where more students will go to college than not, I think some of the program instructors were hoping that this was going to initiate some of those students to kind of challenge themselves a little bit more. So, so some students are just doing the minimum 15 minutes, which is great, because even if they're not avid readers, they're at least getting 15 minutes each week. Any publication, book, magazine, a manual, something that's program related will suffice, as long as it's a physical copy. So no reading off of a tablet or a laptop or anything like that. And I think, though, it is successful to the point where the reading initiative was successful to the point where it will be a continuation next year. And I think that we're using the data and the information that we took from this one from February to June. So obviously we still have up until April, May, and then June. So there's about 13 weeks left, I think, in the school year. I think the sad part is that we're not really going to reach that 100,000 minutes. So I think one of the things we're going to have to do is kind of calibrate how we visualize success as far as the minutes, and then still come up with a way to reward students and programs for all of their hard work, even if we don't reach our goal for this year, because it was something that happened in late January as far as the early planning for this initiative. But next year, I think once we start from the year, I like the fact, the other thing was that teachers modeled the behavior for students. So it wasn't something where program instructors would just sit there and watch their students read. Everybody from the director on down would take 15 minutes to read. So I think being able to model that behavior for our students is something that's really great. And, for those students who have really taken an interest in reading more and kind of craving that, I think that those will have residual effects within the family structure, which is something that I hope, because something that these communities that come to our school really need. And then also I think that as they enhance their literacy rates, and hopefully over the next couple of years, we can get out of reading an average reading level of 5th grade, and hopefully get something into the 7th and 8th grade pretty soon. I think that's only going to have more positive benefits, not only for the students themselves, but for the school, and of course for those standardized tests. We badly need the grant money. But also I think the community at large will benefit from having students who, their literacy rates are higher. I hope that it has benefits as far as like their employment, higher salaries in the future. Maybe it gets some of them to start thinking about higher education, even if it's something that's, a technical education after high school that can help them improve their lives. And I think that obviously, the momentum needs to be kept going, but I'm just thinking like long term that this is something that maybe will, continue to benefit the communities for future generations. But because our tech center is only 2 years, it's really difficult to kind of enhance those literacy rates the way that you might expect from a traditional 4-year high school. So I think that it's, the data and the information that is collected within just like a couple of months is not enough to really reflect on what those benefits will be for the communities. But I think that anytime you're putting a book in a student's hands and that they're getting something from it, even if they're just going through the motions, I think can only have positive consequences for themselves, for the school, and for the community at large. So thank you.